Extra Big Town. Tiger slave capture in private zoo. Extra Big Town. Extra.
Look at her, June. My tigress is jealous of you.
Stop tormenting the poor beast, Leo. Stop it. Stop it.
The tigress is jealous of you, June. Jealous of my wife.
No, she's just hungry. You're starving her to make her vicious.
No, she's hungry for freedom. Jealous. Full of hate.
Yes, hear this tense and dramatic big town story of a wild beast and its captors, headlined The Hunter, and brought to you by Lever Brothers Company, makers of Bright Boy Health Soap. Another exciting adventure of Steve Wilson, fighting editor of the Illustrated Press, whose newspaper creed stands for freedom and justice against the forces of violence and evil.
The power and the freedom of the press is a flaming sword, that it may be a faithful servant of all the people. Use it justly, hold it high, and guard it well.
Now to Big Town and to an estate in its suburbs. An estate surrounded by a high steel fence, the gates of which are locked night and day. For in the center of its heavily wooded grounds stands a group of cages, housing a deadly assortment of wild animals from the four corners of the earth. Such is the scene of Steve Wilson's hair-raising story, headlined The Hunter.
Look, June, my dear. Look at my beautiful tigress. How she envies you your freedom.
Why, freedom. You might as well be in that cage as confined to this wheelchair.
Don't be bitter, my dear. It was your own fault that her mother mauled you before I could kill her on that last safari.
Oh, I don't blame you for that accident in India.
Yes, you do, my dear. You didn't want to go. You hate my big game hunting. You resent the money I spend bringing these wild, savage beauties back alive.
Yes, I do. Because you're not like other hunters. You don't give them to museums and public parks. You keep them here to gloat over them. You let no one else see them.
I am the true hunter, June. Leo, the king of the jungle.
They hate you. They all hate you.
No, my dear, they fear me. They're all man-killers. But I am a match for any of them.
Yes, as long as you keep them in cages. Oh, please roll me back to the house, Leo. I hate this place.
Why, my dear? Are you afraid of my pets? Even in their cages?
No. But I'm afraid of you when you're around them.
Just what do you mean by that?
You're different when you're down here with the animals.
How so, June?
You seem to change. You become like them, savage, full of hate.
You're imagining things, June. I sometimes wonder if your unfortunate injury hasn't affected your mind.
Stop it, Leo. Push me back to the house or I'll wheel myself.
You can't, June. Head up the steep path.
Leo, take me back to the house or I'll call for Nanny.
It's no good calling for that old fool nurse.
Why not?
I discharged her this morning.
You got rid of Nanny? But why?
She's much too bossy. Been with you too long. Forget the place. The fact that she was a servant.
She wasn't a servant. She was my mother's companion. She's been my nurse since I was a child.
Yes, but she's old. She depresses you, my dear. You need a younger woman for a companion in your lonely hours in that wheelchair. I have arranged for an agency to send a young woman tomorrow.
I don't want anyone else. I want Nanny back. This is her home as much as mine for as long as she lives. Do you understand?
Control yourself, June. You're upsetting my...
I don't care. I'll get rid of that tigress, Leo. Get rid of all these poor wild beasts. But get Nanny back here or I'll leave you.
Leave me?
Yes, I'll divorce you.
Divorce me? And who would you name as the other woman? The tigress there? Are you jealous of her?
No. Now listen to me, Leo. I will not share you with a lot of wild beasts. I will not finance any more expeditions into the jungle. I've had all I can stand.
Very well, my dear. In that case, perhaps I'll have to turn my beauties loose. Stage one last safari on the grounds of your precious estate.
Oh, no.
Wouldn't I? How about it, my friends? Shall I turn you loose? All of you. Shall we hunt each other tonight? To the death.
Steve, did you spare a minute?
Oh, judging by your tone of voice, an hour, a day, or a week. What's wrong, Laura?
Something that's given me a horrible premonition. Will you come in Mr. Wilson's office, Miss Harding, please?
Thank you, Mr. Kilbourne. How do you do, Mr. Wilson?
How do you do? Please have a seat, Miss Harding.
Thank you.
Miss Harding is, or rather was, the nurse and companion of June Stanton, the wife of Leo Stanton, the sportsman and big game hunter, Steve.
Oh, yes. We've run quite a few stories on his exploits. Wasn't he kicked out of the Explorers Club last year?
Yes, Steve, and he's been barred from several African wild game regions because he slaughtered so many wild animals just for the sake of killing.
And they won't let him go back to India, Mr. Wilson.
Why not?
Because he killed a guide, almost caused an uprising of the natives.
Is that why you've come to us, Miss Harding?
No, Mr. Wilson. I've come to your newspaper for help because I believe that Leo Stanton means to murder my poor mistress, Miss June.
Murder his wife? Well, in that case, this is a police matter, Miss Harding.
I have gone to them, but I have no proof. They don't believe me because I've been discharged. They think I'm only being spiteful, trying to make trouble for Mr. Stanton.
Well, why were you discharged?
Because I've tried to protect my mistress, keep him from frightening her to death with those wild beasts he keeps in cages on the estate.
Have you checked on this, Laura?
Yes, Steve. Stanton has a private zoo, half a dozen animals, all dangerous. A gorilla, a black panther, 2 lions, and a young tiger.
Oh, that tigress is the worst. Its mother crippled my mistress before Stanton shot it in India 3 years ago. He kept the cub in the house as a pet until it got too big, too dangerous.
I see. But what makes you think your mistress is going to be murdered?
Because Miss June is beginning to realize what a wild beast she married. She's threatened to divorce him, and, no, he'll kill her rather than risk losing her money.
Well, that is a very serious charge, Miss Harding. Are you quite sure?
I have no proof, Mr. Wilson, but I am sure, desperately sure.
I've done some fast checking, Steve. I'm convinced there's something ugly going on. And Miss Harding has given me a way of finding out what it is.
Well, it certainly was investigating. How can you do it, Lorelei?
Well, when Leo Stanton fired Miss Harding, he phoned an employment agency to send a younger woman out to the estate to be interviewed for the job of nurse and companion for his wife.
Do you think you could get that done?
I've arranged that for a consideration that will go on the expense account.
Okay, how?
The agency is sending me.
Nice going, Lorelei. Even a few hours in the house might give you enough to call in the police if there is any immediate danger.
There's only one catch, Steve. Leo Stanton doesn't want the new nurse and companion until tomorrow. That means June Stanton will be alone in that private zoo tonight.
And poor Miss Joan oughtn't to be left alone with him for a minute. She's helpless in that wheelchair.
Do you think you could get the job today, Lorelei?
I can try. I can go out there, say I didn't understand the appointment was for tomorrow.
Yes, that might work, unless she has a special reason for not wanting anyone with his wife tonight.
And that reason could be murder. And the quicker we find out, the better.
All right, Lorelei, go ahead and see if you can get in and get the job.
I'll phone you if I do.
No, Lorelei, if there is anything to Miss Harding's fears, it might arouse Stanton's suspicions if you phone me.
Oh, there is, Mr. Wilson. I know there is. He may try to murder Miss June tonight.
Have you any idea how he might try to do it, Miss Harding?
I don't know for sure, Mr. Wilson, but I'm afraid he might even turn the animals loose.
Well, in that case, Lorelei...
Steve, don't say I can't go. We can't leave that poor crippled girl alone in that place.
No, we can't. You'd better get going, Lorelei, but be prepared for your boyfriend to call on you about 10 o'clock tonight.
My boyfriend?
Yes, yours truly, Steve Wilson, accompanied by his monkey wrench friend, Harry the Hack.
Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner.
Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner.
And the cleaner you get your skin, the surer you are of being fresh and attractive. So remember, Lifebuoy, with its purifying ingredient, gets skin cleaner, stops BO as no other leading soap can. Here's what the doctors proved in 820 scientific tests.
People took daily baths with different soaps. Doctors found that Lifebuoy does more than just remove the grime and perspiration you can see. Lifebuoy's purifying ingredient makes it more effective than any other leading soap against the invisible dirt that brings on BO.
Lifebuoy's milder, too. Safe even for baby's tender skin.
And you'll like the way Lifebuoy, made with costly coconut oil, bursts into quick white lather, even in hard water.
Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner.
Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner, keeps you fresh and attractive, protects you as no other leading soap can. Bathe with Lifebuoy Health Soap every day. Get the big new bath dies. Buy Lifebuoy right away. Now back to Big Town and to Steve Wilson and Lorelei Kilbourne in tonight's headline story of The Hunter. Checking on the strange story of an old and devoted family servant, Lorelei has gone to a suburban estate and applied for a job as nurse and companion of a crippled girl who may be marked for murder by her husband. who is now questioning Lorelei in the library.
Very well, Miss Kilbourne. Since the employment agency made a mistake, since you are here tonight instead of tomorrow, you may as well stay.
Oh, well, does that mean I get the job? I'm hired?
Yes, you seem qualified. My poor wife, June, doesn't really need a trained nurse or a companion during the times I must be away.
Are you away much, Mr. Stanton?
Yes, for months at a time. I hunt big game.
Oh, yes, I read about your wonderful adventures.
Incidentally, are you afraid of wild animals, Miss Kilbourne?
Not as long as they're in cages. Behind bars.
Yes, a sensible attitude. There are several here on the estate in my private zoo. Sort of jungle back at the house. Hey, do you hear them?
Yes. What's that one?
That is my favorite. A beautiful young tigress. I used to keep her here in the house, but she became jealous of my poor wife. And being almost full grown. Dangerous.
I can imagine.
She also mauled one of the servants rather badly. Oh, yes, incidentally, that's another matter. There are no servants at the moment.
Oh?
Yes. The cook left when I was forced to discharge my wife's companion.
Why did you discharge Mrs. Stanton's old nurse?
For good cause. Now, if you will go to your room, I will explain your duties and introduce you to my poor wife in the morning.
In the morning?
Yes.
But I don't mind starting now, tonight.
That will not be necessary. I look after my wife in the evening. I'm about to take her for a little trip in the moonlight before she retires. Now, you may go to your room.
Very well, sir. But Mr. Stanton.
Yes, what is it?
Well, I hate to ask this my first day, but I wasn't sure I'd get the job.
Yes?
And a friend said he'd drive out about 10 o'clock and pick me up in case I didn't.
You may telephone him you're staying.
Well, I'm afraid I can't reach him. I'm sorry.
Well, in that case, meet him at the main gate.
But I understand you keep the gates locked, Mr. Stanton.
Yes, and the entire estate is surrounded by a high steel fence as an added safeguard against any of the animals getting out of their cages.
Well, could I go out and meet him for a few minutes?
Yes, very well. Here's a key to the main gate. But you must lock it when you leave, and again when you return. And I hope you will not make a habit of having your boyfriends call on you.
Oh, I won't, Mr. Stanton. I promise. Just this
Well,
once.
see that you don't, or I shall be obliged to get someone else.
Yes, sir. Now, what's the matter with the animals, Mr. Stanton?
They're just restless. They're always like that on moonlight nights. The moon seems to arouse their primitive instincts. It's the night for the hunter. Man and beast. The night for stalking. For the kill.
Thank heaven. Here's the main gate. Those creatures give me the meanies. Ditto, Mr. Leo the Lion Stanton. Oh, that must be his pussycat girlfriend. Oh, poor June Stanton. He's taking her down there to those cages. Oh, come on, Steve. Doggone it. Something's liable to happen here tonight, and it's liable not to be pretty. Golly, it's after 10. I hope that's Steve and Harry.
Hi, Miss Kilbourne.
Oh, Harry, thank heaven.
Well, how did you make out, Lorelei?
Oh, I got the job, Steve, but I haven't met Mrs. Stanton, and I don't like the way her husband is acting.
How so?
Well, I'm not sure, but he's got something on his mind. He's nervous, jumpy.
Where is June Stanton?
He's taking her out in a wheelchair down toward the animal cages, and she didn't like it one little bit. I heard her arguing with him as he wheeled her down the path.
Did you have any trouble getting out here to meet us?
Well, I didn't like it. Said I wasn't to do it again, but he gave me a key to open the gate and strict orders to lock it again.
Holy, Miss Kilbourne, what is this guy got in there?
A gorilla, a black leopard, and a couple of lions and a pet tigress, Harry.
They running around loose?
I certainly hope not, Harry. They're supposed to be in cages down there in a gully this side of the main house.
Well, they sound restless tonight.
Stanton says they get like that on moonlight nights, and that's something else that worries me, Steve.
Oh? What is that, Laura?
Stanton's like a cat on a hot stove. And his eyes have a kind of funny look when those beasts started yowling at the moon. Sort of wild. And he said something about this being a night for hunters, for stalking, for the kill.
The kill?
Ooh, yeah. Jeepers, he gives me the creeps. But there was nothing I could do about seeing June Stanton talking to her without making a scene.
Yes, he would have fired you.
What are we going to do, Steve?
We have absolutely no proof of anything wrong. Just Nanny Harding's hunch he means to kill his wife.
Lorelei. Are there any dogs here on the estate?
Well, I don't think so, Steve. I haven't seen or heard any.
Good.
Why, good.
I'm going back in there with you, scout the grounds, and keep an eye on Stanton for a couple of hours.
How about me, boss? My trusty knocker might come in handy if you met up with one of them here yowling pussycats.
Thanks, Harry, but I'd rather have you here by the gate, ready to go for the police in case there is anything to Miss Harding's premonition of murder.
That must be June Stanton.
Good grief, jumping at the cat, Harry. Go get the police.
And how on a double-double?
The screams came from near the animal cage, Steve.
Come on, Lorelei. Open that gate. Miss Harding's premonition may be right, and tonight may be the night.
The animal cages are just ahead, in a little clearing in these woods.
Yes, I see one of the cages. I wonder why the animals are so quiet all of a sudden.
I hope they're not out of their cages, prowling around in the underbrush. I hope.
Wait, Lorelei, listen. I don't hear Stanton or his wife.
I haven't heard a thing since those awful screams. Maybe we're too late. Maybe she's been killed.
Uh-oh. I think that's an ape. The gorilla.
Yeah. It sounds like he's still in his cage.
Yes, praise be for that much consolation.
But it still leaves 2 lions, a black leopard, and a tigress to be accounted for.
I think you better go back, Lorelei. Get outside the main gate and wait.
Oh, no, Steve. You may not be Tarzan, king of the jungle, but you're human. And I crave company in this dark wood.
All right. Let's move up to the edge of the clearing and see if all the animals are in their cages. Then we'll know what we're up against.
The ape here's his tunnel.
There's no help for it. There are the rest of the cages, but I can't see it.
The lions are still in their cage.
Yes. And that black leopard in the end cage. Wait, Lorelei.
What is it?
Look right over there on the left, in front of that first cage next to the stone house.
Oh, Steve. June Stanton, sitting in her wheelchair alone.
She hasn't moved. Just seems to be sitting there.
She may be dead.
I don't think so. She'd be slumped over. She's sitting up straight in the wheelchair.
Yeah. Frozen. Facing that patch of wood beyond the stone house.
Her hand moves. She's alive. Watching something.
Oh, Steve. The tigress. She's out of her cage. In that underbrush.
Good grief. Yes. And moving this way.
Oh, we can't stay here.
No, come on. Move slowly, Lorelei. Out into the clearing toward Mrs. Stanton.
June Stanton seen us. She's motioning to us to stay away.
You can't leave her there. She's cornered between the cages and that building.
Oh, what can we do?
There's one chance, Lorelei, if that cat will just wait a minute.
Steve, I think it's behind us now.
But still in the underbrush circling. Don't turn around, Lorelei. Don't look back. Mrs. Stanton? Mrs. Stanton?
Get away from here. Get away from here, please. The tigress is out of the cage.
Yes, we know. Are you hurt?
No, but we're all liable to be killed if my husband doesn't get back to this rifle in time. Who are you?
That doesn't matter now, Lorelei.
Yes, Steve.
Turn slowly. Reach out with your hand. Don't make any quick movements.
What do you want me to do?
There's a cage door right behind you, partly open.
Yes, it's her cage. My husband opened it to feed her. She got out.
Yes, we think he let her out, Mrs. Stanton. That's why we're here. Now move slowly, Lorelei. Open that cage door wider, then step inside, and I'll push Mrs. Stanton's wheelchair into the cage.
Oh, golly. It would squeak. She's coming closer. She'll spring if you try to wheel me in the cage. Leave me here.
No, steady. We can make it.
It's open wide enough for the wheelchair, Steve.
Good girl, Lorelei. Get inside the cage. We'll be safe until the police arrive, if we can get in and get the cage door closed.
Here, behind you. Crouched in the brush, ready to spring. Oh, don't try to push me. Save yourself.
No, hold on to the chair, Mrs. Stanton. I'm going to give you a quick shot.
Keep it out! Did she flash?
No, just ripped my sleeve open with one of her claws.
Oh.
Sorry, old girl, you missed your supper, and we're staying right here in your cage until the police come and take care of you and your master.
How did you know my husband let her out? Who are you?
I'm Lorelei Kilbourne, the reporter. And this is Steve Wilson, my editor.
How did you happen to come here? How did you get inside the estate?
Your nurse, Miss Harding, came to us. She was convinced your husband fired her because he meant to murder you.
My poor Nanny, she warned me, but I wouldn't listen. I couldn't believe he meant to do it until tonight.
Just what happened here? We heard you screaming.
He wheeled me down here. He said he was going to feed the tigress, but he opened the cage door and left me when you found him.
Oh, where is your husband? Where'd he go?
Went up to the house. He said he was going to get his high-powered rifle.
Well, what happened when he left? When you screamed?
Well, she didn't come out of the cage at first. I tried to close the gate again, but she sprang through, and I thought she was going to turn and pounce on me. But she didn't.
It's a miracle she didn't.
Well, it might be because I used to get Nanny to wheel me down here. When I knew my husband was starving her to make her vicious, I'd feed her. She's hungry now. He hasn't fed her for days. I think she was closing in, spring on me when you arrived. I owe you my life, Mr. Wilson, Miss Kilbourne.
Not yet, Mrs. Staunton. The police are coming, but we're not out of this. This cage is a deadly trap. If your husband comes back, discovers that we know he tried to have that tigress murder you.
Speak of the she-devil.
You, my dear.
Speak of both devils. He's back.
Don't answer him, Mrs. Staunton.
But he'll think the tigress killed me.
Let him think so. We've got to stall for time.
There he is, Steve. Standing on the steep path down from the house.
Yes, with a high-powered rifle. He could so easily shoot us and claim he was firing at the tigress.
The tigress is moving away from us into the brush, towards Stanton.
Good heavens, she's stalking him.
Poetic justice.
Yes, but we can't let it happen, Lorelei. We've got to warn him.
You got a bullet for thanks?
How do you feel about it, Mrs.
Oh,
Staunton?
yes, please call to him, warn him. Even if he tried to murder me, he's sick. He must be insane.
All right, keep back of me. Both of you. Staunton! Staunton!
Who are you? Who's there?
Never mind. Your murderous pet tigress is stalking you. Come this way. Bring that rifle. Get in this cage.
Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner.
Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner.
Lifebuoy, with its purifying ingredient, gets skin cleaner, stops BO as no other leading soap can. Doctors have proved it.
People took daily baths with different soaps. Doctors compared results. They found that Lifebuoy, with its quick, rich, purifying lather, cleanses and protects better than any other leading soap. And Lifebuoy is milder, too.
So bathe with mild, refreshing Lifebuoy every day. Remember, Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner, stops BO as no other leading soap can. Buy Lifebuoy right away. Now, back to Big Town and to Steve Wilson, Lorelei, and June Stanton as they face a deadly showdown with her husband in his private zoo in tonight's headline story of The Hunter.
Listen, Staunton. Get in this cage with us, or you'll be torn to pieces by that tigress you let out to kill your wife.
Who are you? How did you get in here?
It won't matter if that tigress springs on you.
Where is my wife?
In this empty cage. Get in here while you have a chance.
Leo, get in here with us before it's too late.
So you did get away, June, my dear. My pet didn't get you.
Steve, you must be mad. He isn't watching that beast.
Wait, Lorelei. Get in here, Staunton. That animal is behind you, moving in. Ready to spring. Dash for it when I open the cage door.
Save your concern. I'll deal with my pet when I've settled with you. You meddler. You trespasser.
Don't be a fool, Staunton. Get in this cage while you have a chance.
I make my own chances. Who are you? Who is that other woman with you?
Miss Kilbourne, one of my reporters, the girl you hired to take the place of Miss Harding. We know all about your plans to kill your wife, and that rifle won't cover it up.
Why not?
The police have been notified. Get in here and take your chances with them before those tigress claws you to death.
Let her try. I'm her master. She failed me once, but she'll obey me now.
Get in here, Staunton. She is the hunter now, not you.
We'll see about that. Oh, my beautiful pet. Get back in your cage with those fools. Get back in your cage, you devil!
Oh, dear.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Stanton's one shot killed the tigress, but the dying animal killed him with one blow of its powerful paw, and thus saved the law the grim necessity of putting him away for the rest of his strange, unnatural life.
And kept us from being served as a main course for the hungry tigress. But how about next week, Steve?
Well, next Tuesday, we have another story from the front pages of the Illustrated Press, and headline, The Fatal Alibi. Now, Lorelei Kilbourne has news of another kind, a special offer for every woman listening.
Yes, it's really big news for women about our sensational new self-drain aluminum saucepan. You can get it at half price when you buy 2 cakes of Lifebuoy.
It's an amazing value, friends. Genuine Regal heavy aluminum 2-quart capacity. I repeat, an amazing value.
You bet it is, Dwight. And that self-drain feature is a big improvement in America's favorite saucepan. Now you can drain hot water from food without removing the cover. There's no danger of scalding hands, and it prevents food from spilling into the sink. A slight twist turns the cover to cook and to drain. It's a marvel.
Yes, friends, this dazzling Regal heavy aluminum self-drain saucepan is a marvel. An amazing $2 value that's yours for only $1 when you buy 2 cakes of Lifebuoy Health Soap. Here's all you do. Send 2 Lifebuoy box fronts with $1 to Lever Homemakers Club, Box 27, New York 8, New York. That's Box 27, New York 8, New York. Do it today. This offer is limited to the United States, Alaska, and Hawaii. In tonight's dramatization, all names, times, and places are fictional. Big Town features Edward Pawley as Steve Wilson, Fran Carlon as Lorelei Kilbourne, and was written and produced by Jerry McGill.
Lever Brothers Company has amazing news. New 1950 Rinso with sodium. It's here a year ahead of time. New 1950 Rinso has 3 times the whiter washing action of any other soap. The sensational new washing action of 1950 Rinso gets white clothes whiter than new, washable colors brighter than new, and keeps them whiter, brighter than any other soap. Rinso is so safe for clothes, so kind to hands. Get new 1950 Rinso at your dealers now.
Be sure and be with us again next Tuesday at the same time when Lever Brothers Company will again present Big Town. This is your narrator, Dwight Weiss, bidding you good night.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.